Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sam. I am a crazy plant lady. I have over 250 houseplants and I love to help people grow their plants nice and big. That's like my main goal, is to get the most out of each plant that you purchase. Today is a little different. I'm going to be going over a lot of the products I use, and specifically this little cart behind me that has been getting a lot of attention lately on all the socials. I made this plant cart to kind of keep all of my essentials, you should say, like I could say, all my essentials in one spot. So I'm going to take you through everything that I have on there and why I have it on there and how I use it. So here we are. Here's a full shot. It is technically a bar cart that I used some just clear storage bins and stuff on just to kind of keep things organized. But I found this bar cart at Homegoods and I just thought it was perfect. I've been looking for a type of cart for a long time, but I just didn't really want something was too enclosed or anything. And I just have a lot of glass and white, and I just wanted it to look nice and clean and airy. And so I think that I definitely achieved that with this look. So I found a couple similar carts on Amazon, and I'll put that link in the description if you want to go find some. But otherwise, if you want the specific one, check your Homegoods. It was, I think, from CB2 a long time ago, but it's discontinued there. So I don't know that you'll be able to find it online anywhere. I have two of these stackable bins here. I can take them off if I want. The top, I have Soul Soil's Houseplant Mix, which is one of my favorite prepackaged mixes. It's a very chunky, it's technically a soilless medium, so it doesn't have any actual soil in it. It has pumice, perlite, bark, and a few other things like leca, and it's very good for all houseplants. And then I have my DIY mix, which I make up a batch of this every single spring. Usually have to make it a couple times throughout the year. This is just a portion of it. I actually make a really big bin, so I have a lot on hand. And this is great for anything that I don't want to use the soul soils on, only because this is a little bit more expensive and a little bit more premium, I would say. This is what I would use for like outdoor house plants, any plant that is a lot bigger, that takes a lot more soil. This is, oh, I just spilled it. But this is equal parts potting soil. I prefer the Fox Farm Ocean Forest, and then perlite, and then orchid bark. And so I just mix that all together and it creates this really, really nice mix. So that is what we have in that one. Moving down, I have my DIY pond. So I researched so much trying to figure out how to make my own pond, because it's usually always out of stock when I want to buy it. And so I found a recipe that is pretty much identical. I really love it. The only thing it doesn't have is the slow release fertilizer already in it, which is fine because I just use Foliage Pro anyway, which is my favorite fertilizer. Then on the second drawer, I have all my perlite, which I absolutely love. I love propagating in perlite. I do also have leca and stuff, but I just don't have it on this cart. So perlite is by far my favorite propagating medium. And then I also like to mix it into my soil, obviously. So this second area, I have Prop Drops by Market Botany. These are perfect for putting in your water when you're propagating. They're super helpful. It is basically just like a rooting hormone. And then I have my Fungus Gnat Drops, which I love. I use these every single time I water. It's just 1 drop per gallon, and it will keep all the fungus gnats away. So I have 2 of those bottles, just one as a backup. Here I have my Cakey Paste, which I use for, it's basically a cloning paste. So this will make it so that your plant will have new growth on areas where it's lost leaves. So I like to use that for that. And then little shears for chopping and propagating and all that stuff. And then I have just some floral Velcro, which is helpful for moss poles and all that stuff, trellises. And then I have my leaf cleaner Shine On and the gloves that I sell on my website. So these are super soft recycled water bottle gloves. Love them. And then Shine On, it smells like an orange Tootsie Pop, and it has a little bit of neem oil in it and some essential oils, and it helps shine your leaves and get rid of pests as well. So love both of those. I try to clean my leaves at least once a month or so, just to help with photosynthesis. Then here I have just some smoothie bottles that I put holes in the lid with a soldering iron. And I use these for my moss pools, and one example is this one right here. So I use these to water, so I just fill it with my nutrient water, and then I just stick it down on top of the moss pool, just like that, and it will just slowly water it and soak down in there. So I have a few of those. And then on the side, which is the newest addition to my little setup, is this soap dispenser. So it's an automatic soap dispenser, but I put my fertilizer in it, and it dispenses the perfect amount of fertilizer. I went through 3 different of these soap dispensers just to find the one that was perfect, and this one is it. It's amazing. So I'll just show you how it works. But I just have my watering can. I just put it up, and it puts in the exact amount of fertilizer, and then I just go fill it up the rest of the way with water. I absolutely love it. I know it seems a little extra, but it's actually really helpful for me because I use so much fertilizer when I'm watering my plants, and it's such a pain for me to have to like measure with the lid or whatever and have to clean it out. Okay, down here I have all of my, I don't know, amendments you would say, like treatments, all of that stuff. So here on this side I have my Bug Hut products that I love. This is great for any plants grown in soil, so indoor or outdoor. I do the distressor, the booster, and the enhancer, and all of these have beneficial microbes and all of that stuff, antioxidants, to help with stronger plants. And so I like to use these anytime I water as well, especially on plants that have old, tired soil, and if I don't want to repot them. Then I have my arbor products, the bioinsecticide, the fungicide, and the bioprotectant. So I use those 3. I don't use these as often. I like to switch through what I use to treat pests and fungal issues, because I feel like sometimes the plants can get resistant, or not the plants, but like the pests can get resistant to what I'm using. Down here we have extra prop drops, the arbor soil and root food. So this is great to sprinkle on there when you are repotting. And then Foliage Focus, which is another fertilizer that I've been trying as kind of like an alternative to my Foliage Pro, but I haven't been using it long enough to know if I really love it. So this is something that has been really popular, I think, over in Australia. So I'm giving it a try. And then over here we have all of my fertilizers. So this is the Foliage Pro that I just put in here. This is just the extra bottle. That's what it looks like. And then the Protect, which is the silicone solution. I do this maybe like once every few months. And this just helps your plants. It's basically like a vitamin for your plants. It just helps them be stronger, their cell walls to be stronger. And if you have really variegated plants, sometimes it can help keep the white on your variegation and from turning brown. This is one I haven't even used yet. I just grabbed it because I was told it helps a lot with mealybugs, and so I was gonna maybe give it a try, but I haven't yet. So if you've ever used this, let me know what you think of it. Dead AF, of course, this is one of my favorite pest controls. It is a insecticidal soap, safe to use around pets and kids. Love that. I have 2 bottles here just for good measure. My systemic granules. So this is the actual granule version. Looks kind of like sand. I don't know if you can see in there. And you sprinkle it onto the soil of your plants and then mix it in, and basically your plant will take this up and the entire plant will become toxic to pests. So this is really helpful too. It does not help with spider mites though, so keep that in mind. Then I have my horticultural oil. This has been absolutely game-changing for me when it comes to spider mite control. I've had a couple plants that have had spider mites for as long as I've had the plants, so a few years, and I'm always just like treating them with something, but it never took care of it completely. And this has done it, and I'm so impressed. I love it so much. I think I do 4 tablespoons per gallon of water, and I put it in my pump sprayer, and I spray probably twice a week. And I did that for a month, and the spider mites on one of my plants is completely gone. So very impressed. Love this stuff. Also fine for organic gardening. And then this one is one I also love so far. This is a once a year systemic. So it's basically like the systemic granules here, except for this is a liquid version, and then this is a granule version. And this you put on every 6 to 8 weeks. This is literally once a year. Now, I will say I have only done this once on one plant, so I don't know that I have had, like, that I've been using it enough to really know if it's super helpful or not, but I just was giving it a try, so that's why it's on here. And I would love if it worked really well at controlling all those pests. But that's what I have as far as pest control. I've tried a lot of other things throughout the years, and this is just what I'm trying out right now. So I like to try things. This has been a staple always, but I like to try all different types of things all the time. And then here I just keep this little bucket or whatever. I like to use it for my distilled water just because it's different than my other watering cans. And I just can kind of like remember that it's distilled water for my carnivorous plants. So that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, it's a pretty simple cart, but I just like having everything in one spot. Let me know if you have any other questions about any of it, and I can go into more detail in the comments, but I don't know. This is all that I use. Oh, one thing I did forget, actually, it's because it's back here, is I do have this spray bottle of rubbing alcohol, which works so well for pests also. So any pest that it comes in contact with, it will kill. So I use it for mealybugs, mites, whatever. But you just have to be a lot more consistent with that, obviously, because once it's dry, it doesn't do anything. So you really need to be getting contact with the pest. But it's another good option. Yeah, I love it. I love that it rolls. Sometimes I'll roll it out into the hall and like do some stuff. But I don't know. I love it. These soil scoops, this one is on my website. I love this as well. It's really ergonomic and I love being able to use it. It's a little bit bigger than some others. This one I think was just from Amazon, but yeah, everything. I'll link everything that I have links to in the description below, so you can grab it if you want it. But I would say the biggest game changer for me was adding this little pumps, or the soap pump for my fertilizer. That has been so fun to use. It makes it that I never forget to add fertilizer because I want to use it because it's really fun. But anything else you guys see that you want to know about, just let me know. I honestly had so much fun putting that together, but I also want you to know that it is absolutely not necessary to have a plant cart to be a good plant parent. Like this is my job, and so I always try to find cool, fun things to kind of like push the envelope, be a little extra when it comes to plant care. And I do like having things organized, but you can easily do this with anything. Like just keep them organized so that you can see them, so that you remember that you have it, so that you remember to use it. And that's the biggest thing I think for me, is that when I had everything like tucked away in a closet, I would forget to use it all the time, or I would forget that I even had it, so I'd go buy more when I didn't need more. So for me, it's been really helpful to have everything out like that. But again, it's not necessary, and you guys can be great plant parents without it. If you have any other questions, let me know, and I will see you guys next time.